Cell Replication and Differentiation, Section 2. Last time we talked about DNA replication. Let's start today with a review. When we make a new copy of DNA, it is called replication. More DNA is made so an organism can make new cells. Replication happens where the DNA is found. And where is the DNA found? In the nucleus of the cell. First, the DNA is going to unzip by breaking those hydrogen bonds, and then the bases are going to pair up. The new DNA that is made is identical to the original. DNA replication is semi-conservative because it has an old and a new strand in each of the new DNA molecules. Every body cell, which we call somatic cells, in an organism has the exact same DNA. They're all copies from that original cell. The DNA is organized as chromosomes. Each chromosome is one DNA molecule from start to finish. And we can divide it further into genes, which are sections or segments of DNA that code for a specific trait by coding for a protein produced in the cell. How did you do? Let's move forward now and look not at DNA replication, but at cell replication. So going a step bigger. These two are related. In order for cell replication to happen, DNA replication happened first. Mitosis is the process that the cell uses to give each daughter cell an identical nucleus when the parent, which is the first cell, divides. So you have a cell, it's going to get a little bit bigger, and it's going to split into two. And each of the two cells that came from that original cell are called daughter cells. You don't have 3 cells at the end of that, you just have 2. The original cell actually became the daughter cells. Each stage in mitosis moves the chromosomes around so that each daughter cell has its own copy. In order for that to have happened, DNA replication had to happen first. Let's look at what mitosis looks like in the cell. So we have some cell pictures over here, and I've written some descriptions for each. First, we have a relaxing of the chromosomes. That's during interphase. It's just the normal cell life. It's not part of mitosis. Then they get doubled. Why? They get doubled because of DNA replication. So the chromosomes that you see over here that look like X's, these are chromosomes after replication happened. They are actually 2 copies of DNA stuck together. Then the nucleus dissolves, and this is where mitosis begins. The nucleus has to dissolve so that the chromosomes can get moved around and sorted out. The nuclear membrane is no more. This stage is called prophase. In stage 2, the cell will line up the chromosomes. Notice these are still the doubled chromosomes. In the middle of the cell, what we call the equator. This is called metaphase. And then it's going to pull these copies apart. Remember, these are copies that are stuck together. And when it pulls them apart, it looks a little like this. It's called anaphase. Finally, now that we have 2 copies at one end of the cell and 2 copies at the other end of the cell, it's going to form new nuclear membranes to keep them separate, so that when the cell splits into 2, each new cell that is formed has its own copy of the chromosomes. When the cell actually splits into two entirely separate cells, that is called cytokinesis. It's the splitting of the cytoplasm so that it is creating two separate cells where it used to be one big cell with two nuclei. In a plant cell or a fungus cell or a bacteria cell, there's one extra step. To really separate the two cells, you have to do more than separate the cytoplasm. You have to build a new cell wall between them. Animal cells don't do that. Why? Because they don't have cell walls. So the animal cells over here on the left, the one without the cell wall, and the plant cell over here on the right with the cell wall. What structures would bacteria cells not have to copy for a new cell? Remember, bacteria cells do not have membrane-bound organelles. So they don't have to copy them. Why would all cells need to split the plasma membrane between the new cells? Yes, they all would. Why? All cells have a plasma membrane, and it is necessary for homeostasis. So, why do cells need to divide to make new cells? There are several reasons. Pause the video and look at each diagram. And below each image, make an educated guess, a hypothesis, about what reason you think that image is showing you. When you're ready, come back and check your answers. Let's see how you did. In the first image, we have a cell saying, I have so much cytoplasm. My plasma membrane can't keep up and transport. That's the before. So then it splits into two. And after, each cell is saying, it's so much easier to get enough nutrients now. So one of the reasons that a cell has to divide is when the cell gets too big and can't transport nutrients effectively. In this image, we have the epidermis, which is your skin, and we have an injury that has split the skin, damaging cells. Ouch! That paper cut just destroyed some of my skin cells. Will I have a gap in my skin forever? And the answer is you will not, because sometimes cells divide to replace damaged or dead cells. Here we have a frog that started life as a single cell and then developed into the frog that we know and love. So what does this have to do with making more cells? Cells divide to let an organism grow and develop. A big organism just has more cells when you compare it to a smaller organism. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, have a great day.